So did you watch the fights this past weekend, UFC?
Man, that was crazy shit with Glover and Yuri, wasn't it? What a fucking that's what makes this sport so fun. That makes it so unique, Carlos, is it's never over until it's over. And what a heartbreaking loss for Glover, though. Man, that guy is like, he spent his entire UFC career as always being the guy that was close but no cigar. Then he finally wins a title from Jan Blachowicz. Everybody thought he was gonna go out there and get dusted. Everybody thought in this fight he was, and I said coming in, I've never seen a champ that was more disrespected by the odds than him. And he went out there for 4 rounds, and really you could say 45 minutes. He handed Yuri his ass for 44 minutes, and for 44 minutes he handed him his ass. He was well on his way to retaining that title. But what makes MMA such a beautiful sport, and sometimes an ugly sport, is in a moment's notice, a win can turn into a loss, or a loss can turn into a win. And Yuri, hats off to him, man. He is a tough son of a bitch. He took Glover's best, which is not an easy thing to do. And he's now the new UFC light heavyweight champion. And going to be interesting to see what happens next. I mean, I say an immediate rematch should happen because in a fight like that, it was so, I don't want to say fluky. I hate that phrase. But in a fight that the champ was winning that decisively, he deserves a rematch. I'm sorry.
I agree. It's how much longer can he be out? What is he? I believe he's 43 now. Going to be 43. I wonder how much longer can he fight at this level.
Well, I mean, he's still got some gas in the tank. I mean, he still clearly got something left. I mean, now, how many more fights like this can he keep going at this level? You and I mean, that's a great question. I mean, but he's been doing this a long time, but he doesn't seem like he has an end game in sight. But I say put him in there and let's see what happens. I mean, but you're right. How much more does he have? I mean, that's a great question.
And we also have a Joanna champion. She lost and now retired.
Yeah, what a bummer that was too, man. I'll tell you what, Johanna, at the end of the day, her legacy, that woman put that 115-pound women's division on the map. I mean, she got out there and she absolutely, she was entertaining to watch. She sold up the fights. Her weigh-ins. You remember UFC on Fox 13 when she fought Claudia Gadelia in Phoenix, the first of the first fight of that rivalry, and she, I remember the weigh-in. She got up in her face, and I mean, she made the weigh-ins entertaining. She made the fights entertaining. She shit talked as well as anybody. And then she went out there, and for a period of time, she was as good of a female fighter as we've seen. And then she ran into that Rose Namajunas brick wall, and I don't know if time caught up to her. I don't know if she wasn't the same after that first Rose fight. But my God, when she was on her A game, she was something to see. She was something to see. And I mean, where do you rank her in terms of all-time great women's fighters? Because there's been a lot of great ones, but for a period, she was definitely in that ranking. But where would you say, Carlos?
She's got top 3, I would think. I mean, yeah, I think top 3.
Yeah,
all time UFC females.
I mean, she didn't have the cultural impact that Ronda had, but I think she fought a higher level of competition and dominated a higher level of competition than Ronda did.
I think more well-rounded when she fought compared to Ronda's opponents.
Yeah, and I mean, no disrespect to the women Ronda fought and beat, but you look at who Johanna fought and beat and dominated, I think she takes that. I would put her behind Amanda, probably. I would put her behind Chris Cyborg. I would put her just ahead of Valentina for that reason alone, because, again, we talk about the level of competition, but she was so good, man. She was so good. And, I wish her nothing but the best in her retirement in the next chapter of her life. She certainly has earned the right to walk away. And she went out. This fight was a banger, man. This fight was an absolute banger. It was fun fight to watch. And now for Weili Zhang, it's on to we believe a title shot against Carla Esparza. Should be an interesting one to see.
Oh, I think so too. That's gonna be a good one.
No, she will drag the fight out of Esparza. Make no doubt. Make no bones about it, man. I mean, it's not going to be what we saw in Carla's last fight. They're not going to be sitting there circling one another and staring at each other and playing this tap dance grab ass game. These two are going to fight, and she will make Carla a fighter. And going to be interesting to see if she can, Carla can retain and can release it. Weili Zhang is going to bring her way, which that brings up an interesting story. And I know we're putting cart well before the horse here, but let's just assume that Zhang wins. And I know I'm not disrespecting Carla like that because look, Carla is good, but if Weili Zhang wins, we wind up with an interesting dynamic here. We wind up with an interesting dynamic, but don't rule out the Cookie Monster because she's just as big as legit too. So interesting times in that division.
Do you want to discuss any other fights from that past? There was another big fight, but my mind's going blank right now.
Yeah, we can discuss some stuff. Let me take a look and see what we had here. But your opinion, though. I mean,
I think Weili would win that fight, but yeah, you can't. Nothing's guaranteed in this sport.
Oh my God, no. I mean, listen, you can never rule anybody or anything, and you can never rule anything out in MMA. You can never rule anybody out. Carla is a champ for a reason. I mean, we can sit there and say what we want about the fight and how she won it. She's a champ, and she didn't get to this level of being an elite fighter by accident. So it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. And she's got that grappling. I mean, her wrestling is very clean and crisp as pinpoint as there is in women's MMA today. So she very well could drag this fight to the ground and make it very, very, interesting for Weili Zhang when that fight goes down. And she's got scrappy enough boxing to where, I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, Zhang's going to kick her ass. So, that may not be the case. I mean, let's not completely underrule the Cookie Monster yet because the way she won the fight was hardly the most exciting. But speaking of Shevchenko, there's a fight that happened, man. Shevchenko-Santos. That was
that's a fight. I was going to fight for a second because I'm under weather right now, so I'm like on meds, so my mind's 100% there. But yeah, I got to rewatch that. But most people are saying that Shevchenko really lost that fight.
That's one of those. I mean, the big argument is there was a moment where the fight was stopped, and by technicality, she should have got the fight because of the injury timeout or however you want to call it. But I don't know, man. I mean, we saw that happen with the Funk Master, Aljo Sterling, and to Santos's credit, she kept wanting to fight. She had control of the takedowns. She did, but I don't think she did a whole hell of a lot with them. You know what I mean? I don't think Santos really did much with the takedowns other than, get on top. I think that Shevchenko certainly had better striking. I think she landed more punches with accuracy. And I mean, when you take somebody down and you're just there, are you really winning the fight? Now granted by MMA standards, perhaps, but that's one of those dry line fights, and my philosophy to be the champ, you absolutely have to undisputably beat the champ, even in the judges' scorecards. And I'm not necessarily sure she did. Now, I know we saw something for the first time since Shevchenko has been the champ that we actually saw her tested, and we saw perhaps, shall we say, some vulnerability. But I don't know if she was beaten, though. I don't know if, all this talk that Santos won that fight. I'm not so sure. I mean, now that's up for debate. Anybody that feels otherwise, feel free to chime in. I could be entirely wrong.
I definitely got to rewatch it. Tomorrow we have couple of interesting UFC fights. We have Cowboy and Joe Lozon's fighting, and Emmett, who we just interviewed the other week, is fighting Cater. What do you think about those two fights? And one news thing about the last Cowboy fight, he got sick and he had to cancel the fight. And now it just happened today after the weigh-ins, Lozon had come out because he was cramping or something. So, but the fight's still on. But that's interesting. Interesting thing to that fight.
Man, that's I heard that too, and I'm like, oh my god, this is going to turn into Tony Ferguson versus Habib, the fight that's never meant to happen. Actually, Cowboy versus J-Law was supposed to happen out there in Phoenix, my old stomping ground. You guys fight, you guys. I'll say to you what I said when we interviewed Joe. That is going to be a fight that you guys have to watch, because say what you will about where Joe is now, say what you will about Cowboy is now, and we both can agree those guys are probably in the twilights of their career. And I mean absolutely no disrespect, because they are two of my favorite fighters that ever stepped foot in the UFC. They are guys that are guaranteed entertainment. They're still guaranteed entertainment. They are still guaranteed to get out there and bring their A game. It's going to be a fight that probably will not go to the judges' scorecards. Pay attention to this fight, though, because this could be maybe the last fight for one of the two of them. Because I don't know how much more, if either of them loses, how much more are they going to want to keep doing this? Look, we saw with Johanna. It could be the end for either of them, and both of them have had some issues lately, and I'm not saying they've been bad. They've gone out there and they've been competitive in their fights. But, these are two OGs. These are two men that have, they're 1 and 2, or tied for 1 and 2, tied for 2 in J-Law's case, for most finishes and most bonuses in UFC history. I mean, these are the bonus kings. That is going to be a hell of a fight. It's not going to be boring. They're not going to go out there and sit there and fucking stare at each other for 15 minutes. They're going to go out there and go for the gusto. All I'm going to say is enjoy it. Who wins, who loses, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I'm not going to play that prediction game, but it is going to be a fight where you get to see two OGs go out there, possibly one of them for the last time, maybe both. Enjoy it and savor it while you have it, because you don't see guys like that in this sport nowadays, and you may not again.
Hey, looks like Marcus is going to jump back on from earlier, but we'll see in a second. But we can keep talking about this card. Also, PFL is going on right now. I don't know how much you've been following PFL, but they have some interesting fights. Today, Jeremy Stevens is fighting Miles Price tonight.
Awesome. That's an interesting fight. I always like watching Jeremy Stevens fight. Another OG, another guy that normally doesn't fight for the he doesn't fight to go to the judges' scorecard. Dana White's old saying, never leave it in the hands of the judges.
Which that's good for the PFL, because they give more points for in the tournament for knockouts, for stoppages. So if he wins his fights, that's a real good thing for him.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of Jeremy Stevens, we talked a couple minutes ago about Josh Emmett, Calvin Kadar. That fight, Josh Emmett showed, we talked in the interview, and showed brass. That guy showed fucking bull balls in his fight with Stevens for taking some of Stevens' best. I mean, listen, I've known some incredible fighters, guys that are known for taking inordinate amounts of punishment. My boy Marcus Davis, one of my best friends that I've ever made in MMA. Marcus Davis is one of my favorite people I've ever known in my sport. One of my best friends I've ever had in this sport. I credit Marcus Davis for getting me a lot of places I am now. Marcus Davis said, look, I've never been hit in my life harder than Jeremy Stevens hit me. And that says a lot, because Marcus Davis was a highly accomplished boxer before he ever got MMA. Jeremy Stevens knocked Marcus Davis fucking unconscious. Okay. Jeremy Stevens has done that to a lot of people. His infamous phrase, and people will talk about
Marcus is coming on right now.
Speaking of Marcus, we'll get to McGhee here in a minute. But the infamous phrase people forget, because it was overshadowed by the Conor McGregor line that who the fuck is that guy? What Jeremy Stevens said is absolutely right, man. When he knocks people out, they don't fucking move.
Hold on, Jay. let me see if Marcus, if he can hear us. Hey, Marcus, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
All right, here you go. Here, Jay, work your magic.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor. Speaking of Marcus's and people that knock people out that don't fucking move, this gentleman has knocked some people out and they didn't move, including Circle K's. He is a gentleman, a scholar, and one of the toughest human beings I've seen in the Arizona MMA scene. He's got a big fight coming up at PF. He's got a big fight coming up, I believe, in his own right. LFA. He should be fighting in PFL. He should be fighting in the PFL, but maybe that'll be coming up next. Maybe it'll be the UFC. He's Marcus McGhee, joins us here on the show again. Marcus, thank you very much for rejoining us here in the program. Sorry for not being here prior. I live in the BFE, so to speak. So sometimes my internet connectivity is not always my best friend.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me on. I'm glad to be on.
Well, if you can here real quick, I told a story about you flash KO and somebody at a Circle K. Now that was way back in the day, back when we were on NBC Sports Radio. So old story that you, me, and Scott Lewis shared over a few laughs back in the day. So if you can, for our newer listening audience, if you would share that story, because you were, I believe, working at the Circle K at the time, and somebody decided to get a little bit frisky at the wrong time. And I know I'm not talking frisky as they were trying to steal a couple of the Dojados or a couple of cans of Mountain Dew. They decided to get a little bit handsy, and you decided they probably didn't want to get handsy with you anymore. So if you could share that story with us, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of runs. I had a lot of runs at Circle K. Circle K's are crazy. So, but
7-Elevens.
The one you're probably talking about is when this dude and this girl were trying to go in the bathroom, and I told them they had to go in there by themselves, like they couldn't go in together, and they got all mad at me and whatever. I said something under my breath, and then she kept walking, and dude came in, tried to attack me, and I just let him have it, and that was kind of how that was that one. But I had people try to steal cigarettes, I didn't chase people down, but like if people came in there and they're arrogant about it, and then I didn't have a reason. But that guy, he had it coming. Like I just told him not to be in the bathroom, and then I think she said something like, "Oh, you're gay" or something. I was like, "Yeah, maybe I am," and then he just rushed me, and I just gave it to him, a good 3-piece and biscuit,
So you cock block somebody, and then you knock them out.
Cock blocked him.
You cock blocked them.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, I guess I did. Oops. Yeah, I guess I didn't realize.
You cock blocked him inadvertently. Then you knocked him unconscious. Yeah. You are my fucking hero, dude. I swear to God, you are like my hero, because you stopped the dude from getting his fuck on in the Circle K bathroom, and then you flash knocked him out. You're like the baddest motherfucker in MMA history. Forget Habib. Forget Chuck Liddell. Forget John Jones, guys. This is the baddest motherfucker alive. Because let me tell you, I lived in Phoenix for 15 years. I spent 8 there. And you don't know the human beings that walk into Circle K at certain parts of night. These people probably got off the fucking subway. They probably were high as a kite. They weren't going into the bathroom to go piss and poop. They were going in to get their groove on. This guy cock blocked him, and then he knocked him out. This guy's a badass.
Hey, Marcus, sorry to interrupt you guys. Marcus, how many more minutes do you have on you? I don't want to keep you waiting too long.
I'm good. No, I have time.
All right, cool. Keep going, Jay.
Yeah, so no, I just honestly, I wasn't even trying to cock block him. I just didn't want them doing drugs in the bathroom. That was the thing. Like, don't do your drugs in the bathroom, and dude decided to attack me, so I just defended myself, and that's all that was,
I had a similar bathroom story. Sorry to interrupt you guys. I was at Jack in the Box. I had to use the bathroom so bad. I was holding in. I was like, oh my gosh, it's about to come out. And 2 gay dudes come out. They were doing stuff. I was so PL. I'm like, dude,
oh God,
go somewhere else. But not. I was like, oh my. I had to almost use the bathroom, but no.
Carlos, you just killed the entire mojo of this show, man. We were talking about. I was like on cloud 9 out here in Marcus. Here in Marcus flash drive. This guy that was trying to get his funky Comedia on with the. He was trying to use the Circle K bathroom as a motel room, and
you're talking about bathrooms are.
You're talking about 2 gay dudes that are trying to get groovy with you in the bathroom. I mean
I was just trying to. I want to use the bathroom. I was willing to use the bathroom. They were freaking. I was holding for so long, but sorry to interrupt you, but keep going.
Marcus is probably wondering I should have stayed off. I should have stayed gone when I had the chance.
No, I'm always game, man. I'm always game for a little bit of joking,
Hey, when's your fight again? Sorry.
So it's July 8th. It's a Friday. So it'll be Friday, July 8th at the Federal Theater in Phoenix.
So we got the Maniac. He's got a big fight coming up for LFA. 4-0. This one, LFA. He's fighting a gentleman, Rafael Dana Mesquento. I probably butchered that last name. 6-1. So you got 2 guys who are ascending up the I don't know if I even want to call you guys prospects, because you're both a couple of studs, but you both are finishers. So what's your thoughts on him as an opponent? And again, he's another one, 6-1, man. He's no joke in his own right. He's got quite the interesting track record, including fights for Jungle Fight, which is produced some real killers. What do you think a win over him does to elevate you in the landscape for Bellator, UFC, etc.?
I think it just keeps on feeding to the fact that I'm already ready to be there. And that I'm going to get there one way or another, whether it's climb through each one of these guys and, take my time on the way there by doing it, or, the fact. So, I do think he's super tough. I'm not doubting this guy at all. He's not coming from Brazil to get beat up. He's coming here to win. But I'm not coming to lose either. I'm not coming just to get to the third round. I'm coming to finish him as well. So I like that energy. Like this is kill or be killed. And live by the sword, die by the sword. So let's go.
Absolutely. And your thoughts on him now? You said he's gone to the third round, but people look at you and you've got quite a few knockouts, but people also don't realize you've gone on yourself, so you've got the gas tank on you as well.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't went there as a pro yet, but I 100% believe in my abilities to go all 17 minutes. I keep coming in and finishing these guys, but I'm not. That's the plan, I guess, but like, again, I'm not rushing it. It's just coming. If it comes if it comes after 17 minutes, then it comes after 17 minutes. And if that's what happens in this fight, I'm okay with that, but I'm going to leave everything out in the cage, and I plan to finish guys. So that's always the plan. But again, I'm coming for 17 minutes of battle. That's what I'm coming for.
The LFA, it's become dare I say, the breeding grounds, even though after the conversation we had earlier about Circle K bathroom, you interrupting another kind of breeding ground, but this is actually the breeding ground for people that wind up going on to steps forward, whether it be UFC, Bellator, PFL. Do you put any extra pressure on yourself coming into this fight, knowing that Dana White's probably watching, Scott Coker's probably watching, the PFL might have their eyes on you, or is it just another day in the office for you?
It's just another day in the office. None of that's pressure, None of that's pressure. I think that guys that focus on that's future. None of those guys are my bosses right now. That's all me thinking. That'd be me focusing on things I don't have control of right now. As far as I'm concerned, I'm just getting into LFA. None of the rest of the story hasn't been written yet. So once the story gets written, then I'll start, really focus on whether or not those guys are paying attention to me. But in my mind, again, I still have so much work to do. I'm very understandable that I'm only 4-0. It's nice to have 4 knockouts, 4 finishes. But I'm 4-0. I have work to do, and I'm really excited to do that work.
The biggest part of MMA to me is watching people make their journey around. And I've had the chance actually to call your fights at Duel for Domination, backstory way back in 2015. Now, that's a lifetime ago, obviously. But I know the biggest thing about you, and when we interviewed you back in the day, and I got to speak to you before your fight for Duel for Domination, is you said your biggest strength is you evolve every single fight. You evolve. Your plan is to continue growing step by step, fight by fight. What do you think your evolution has been in the sport of MMA? How do you think you have evolved from your last fight till now? Which, your last fight was only literally a handful of months ago. 2 months ago. But how do you think you've evolved since then? And how do you think you continue to evolve to make you a complete fighter?
I think the last performance helped me to evolve even further. It let me know what I'm capable of. I know I'm capable of these things, but then to have them happen again, it just shows me that I'm on the right path and that I'm doing the right things, and that to be diligent in what I'm doing. I'm not to say that even if I hadn't, fared as well, that I would think differently, but it is it does reconcile that, I'm working toward the right goals. So I feel like I'm getting better all the time. Like I said, every practice, and it's not just me. I feel like the guys at the gym are getting better every single day. Like, we're putting it on each other. We're putting ourselves in bad positions. We're learning things. We're students of the game, And I think when you're a student of the game, it really changes your approach. And I think it's showing in performances, And again, I don't doubt this guy at all, but I don't doubt my training. I don't doubt everything I've been through. I don't doubt what my coaches tell me and talk to me about, And I'm going to go out and leave everything on the line for that reason in particular.
Where are you training at now, by chance?
The MMA lab.
Out in Glendale. Gotcha. Great training team, obviously. That's so. I mean, who's Go ahead. What's that, Carlos?
I've been there for about 6 years now.
Gotcha. So, I mean, that's obviously a gym that speaks for itself. Benson, Henderson. I mean, the names that have come through those hallowed halls. What about that gym, in your opinion, separates them from the rest?
We're a family. I think that the gyms that you look around the world and you see that are true families that truly give blood, sweat, and tears and themselves to each other, those are the teams that thrive. And we thrive together, we bleed together, we sweat together, we cry together. We're a family. And and we hold each other accountable. You know, there's not a bunch of yes men that are just saying yes. Like, you know, we let each other know. I mean, we're all men, we're all men and women, we're all our own people, but we know we go out of our way to express to each other what our concerns are and what we like about different things happening around us. So I just think it's the family mentality, you know, one for all for one.
Hey, Marcus, do you have any sponsors, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, out to in Tucson, amazing.
Sorry,
cultivation.
You're breaking up for a second. Can you repeat that?
Definitely want to give a shout out to Grown 4 cultivation down in Tucson. Halo Cannabis Company as well. They're a collab. I also want to give a shout out to Bloom Yellow Bottles, pets and house sitting services as well. And then, you know, just a big shout out to Don Tattoo and Ancient Tarian, my nutritionist.
How would somebody get tickets to your fight? And do you have a link for them to get tickets from you?
Yeah, so the link I put a link on my Instagram, which is maniac _ McGhee MMA. The link will be on my last post, one of my posts about LFA. That's the best way to get the tickets. That's the only way I know so far. I'm gonna try to get the link out to social media a little bit more, but I just got the link this week, so just trying to get up on my social media game.
Awesome. Jay, you got anything else?
A couple final questions for you. Back to your question about the lab, and when you mentioned family, we've seen a lot of gyms, and the biggest thing you brought up there that caught my attention, and I've actually had a chance when I was in Arizona to stop in and see the lab, and it really is a family. You see gyms to where there are a lot of people, they claim family, but you've got the pros and the amateurs doing their own thing. You've got people doing their own thing. You know, it's you know, me, I. Nice thing I noticed about the lab is, you know, you've got, whether it's your first amateur fight or you're Benson Henderson or you're fighting for a title in the UFC, you're all working together for one. It's all for the common good, and it's team atmosphere. So that's one thing I wanted to accentuate your point about is it really is a family atmosphere in the lab with John and everybody else. And I know there's been some, you know, families have some issues, you know, and, you know, some have gone their separate ways, but that family still seems to have stayed as strong as ever, which I commend because, look, teams grow, and teams sometimes, you know, part of the growth process is having, unfortunately, people branch out on their own. But I commend the fact that the lab has stayed stronger than ever, even despite that, you know? Yeah,
definitely. And even with that, relationships, right? Sometimes you have to leave to remember exactly how much you love where you're from, you know? So again, we've welcomed a bunch of people that had that, you know, made a different decision to go to different gyms, welcome them back with open arms, you know, and no hatred, nothing but love. You know, it's always been love. We're still really good friends with people who have departed, you know, Henry Crowless, Hunter Asher, really good. Like, they're really good people. And this is something we love to do. So you got to chase it for yourself. But again, like, that family mentality goes with them as well. And they know that, you know, so that's why there's a little bit of hurt there, but not really.
Absolutely. Now, last question I got for you, because I know you're a busy man and you took time to come back and talk to us again, which really, really appreciate it. Those that'll be tuning in that the Maniac fight for the first time here coming up, what can they expect to see out of you? And why should they tune in specifically to watch your fight? Those that have never seen it happen.
Well, they can definitely expect me to come to try and knock somebody out from bell to bell. I'm not, that's my game. That's my plan. I'm going to come in. I'm going to get after it often and early and look for whatever finish I can. You know, I like to knock guys out. Again, if we go to the ground, we go to the ground. I'm not doubting this guy's grappling, but I'm an exciting fighter. I think this guy's an exciting fighter, and it can only bring out the best in the most exciting fight. So look to see the best Maniac McGhee that you've seen.
Absolutely. Just a reminder, folks, he may not be, he's capable of going the full distance, but believe me when I tell you, he does not come in to play by the hour. He doesn't come in to play by the minute. He's looking to finish every second of every second of the fight. He is a maniac, Marcus McGhee. Hey, Marcus, thanks a lot for joining us, my friend. Look forward to seeing your hand get raised here in a couple of weeks with LFA. Again, appreciate you taking time.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on. You guys have a great one.
Thank you, man.
You too, buddy.
You too. Awesome. Thank you. Jake,
Can you?
Yo, I love your hair, bro.
Okay? Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. So I'm on this Wi-Fi right now.
Bro. Your hair is the bomb.
Bad if I should turn it off or on.
You sound good now. Ours was kind of messed up, so we got some problems. I'm sorry, but
Okay.
Welcome to MMA fight coverage. You got a fight coming up, I hear.
Hell yeah. Yes, sir. LFA 135.
First off, real quick question for you. How do you pronunciate your name so we don't butcher it the entire time? Now, I can get the lost.
Yeah, so my whole life everybody's been calling me Wourms, right? But it's German, so the W is like a V, almost like Vanderlei. So you got to say it like an angry German dude. It's like Austin Thumbs.
Vums.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We're worried about that.
We got it. Dude, we didn't want to call you Wourms because then that makes you sound like, backbone. Listen, you fought John Long in your U.S. official MMA debut. Anybody that fights John Long, period, has a backbone, man. So, awesome Wourms, ladies and gentlemen.
I appreciate it.
Go ahead, Carlos.
Okay, you can go.
All right, you were asking him a question, Carlos. Go ahead, Carlos. You were asking him a question. I just wanted to say his name right so we don't butcher it the entire time.
Oh, tell us about your fight and your opponent coming up.
So I'm fighting for LFA 135, July 8th. My opponent, I'm having a brain fart on his name right now, but that don't matter. He just fought for the title. He's a dope ass fighter. He's probably the best dude I've ever fought. He's very technical on the ground. So am I. His striking seems like he's getting the hang of it, so he likes to strike a lot. I'm hoping we just have a good fight, man. I'm excited to just go out there, show people what I could do.
Can you tell us about your gym? I know a few guys who train at your gym.
Yeah, so I train at Baker's MMA here in Surprise. I run the jiu-jitsu program out here. So I teach the kids and the adults program. Basically, me, Glenn, my professor Sadiq, we all kind of came together with this Baker's fight team, and we have some really good people on it. Chris Sandoval, Enrique, we got Aaron. We got some good people coming up too who haven't fought yet, who are going to have a debut soon. But there's a lot of hidden secrets in this gym, and I'm just excited to see it grow.
Yeah, I met Aaron in Virginia a few weeks back. Really cool people.
Yeah, real good people.
Hey, Jay, you got any questions up there?
Man, I'm glad you mentioned Glenn. We were talking about salt of the earth human beings, man, in MMA. I don't think I've met a better human being in my 8 years in Arizona's MMA scene than Glenn Baker. That guy, I swear to God, that guy would give you the shirt off his back twice if he had one, man. What a great dude. Great gym.
He's been real important to me lately. Like, honestly, I never had a coach who quite believed in me more than I did. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like I always had these high hopes, and my coaches were like past coaches, you know what I mean? We're like, I don't know, dude, kind of like reel it back a little bit. But Glenn, he's like, dude, I'll put you against anybody. And like, for my coach to have that kind of confidence in me, like, it puts so much confidence in me. Like, I'm ready for fucking anybody. Like, give me the person with the title anywhere, dude. I know I can hang with any 155er in the fucking world. And he helps me, like, with that confidence. Him and Sadiq, like, they both have two different personalities, and they just hype me up, man. I couldn't have a better corner behind me.
Yin and yang, is that what they say?
That's it. Right. It's like he's like that. And Glenn had been in the studio with us a few times, and it's like Glenn reminds me of that big or little brother who would motivate you to run barefoot through hell.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. He's been through it, you know what I mean? So, like, I can't bitch about something that I know this dude's been through, you know what I mean? So I can't, you know what I mean? I can't hide anything from him. Like, he's been through it too. He's been a fighter too at this level. So it's awesome to have, you know, it's a blessing for sure.
Absolutely. Now, this will be the last thing I say about Glenn, because and I love you, Glenn. I know you're probably listening to this. You know I love you, man. But this is not an interview of Glenn Baker. And Glenn, if you want to come on here, you can. This is the Austin Wourms interview. This is what Glenn thinks. He named his firstborn child after Kyler Phillips, for God's sakes. Okay, if that ain't a man who loves it, people, then I don't know what is. But anyway, now, this is about you, my brother. This is about you, but feel free to say something. Now, you were ready to say something about that, so I don't want to cut you off there.
No. I got no comments on that situation. I'm just...
Now about you, Austin, because this is all about you, nothing but love for you. You fought 3 times. This will be your 3rd fight in LFA. You've got 2 wins, both by armbar. You've won 3 in a row by armbar, man. I mean, LFA, the ultimate stomping grounds for the next level, man. People that succeed there wind up getting picked up by, and not that LFA's no ham and egg or promotion in its own right. I mean, and you look at the promotions you succeeded at, LFA, King of the Cage, Iron Boy. You've laid your groundwork on some of the premier promotions in MMA. You want to going out, not putting the cart before the horse here, because you've got a badass coming up here in a couple of weeks, but you go out there and wind up picking up another win. I got to believe, whether it be in the Contender Series or straight to the UFC or be a Bellator, they got to be looking.
Man, I'm coming for a highlight. You know what I mean? I want to be known for spectacular, awesome things, like especially on the ground, dude. I feel like lately people see fights on the ground and they think it's boring. Like when you see me on the ground, I'm not boring. I'm trying to break you in half. Like I'm trying to take a limb and rip it off your body. And that's what I feel like it should be about. And I want to be known for that. And I know I can be. I know I have the potential to be, and I just can't wait to show the world. But yeah, UFC, Contender Series, whatever's next, LFA title, I want it. You know what I mean? I'm ready for it all.
How does somebody get tickets to your fight? Do you have like a link or something that people could
Yeah, so I'm on my Facebook page and my Instagram. I have the link posted up. The link's in my bio and my Instagram, at @StarKiller_Wourms. Yeah, check me out for sure. I think you could also go on like Ticketmaster, find the event, and like do a drop down with your fighter, maybe. But it's the safest way is click the link for sure.
Do you have any sponsors or anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Oh yeah, for sure. Melted. Shout out to Melted. They've helped me a lot this camp. Tattoos by Don. He's on the wall up there.
Oh, nice.
We got Advanced Independence. Let's see. He's on the wall somewhere too. On the wall in that corner over there. Shout out to Fat Ox Barbecue. Shout out to Hair by Jesus. Always hooking me up with the hair. Everybody who supports me, I appreciate you guys so much.
Is it Jesus or is it Jesus?
So it's Jesus spelled with a Z.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That makes a difference. Jesus with a Z, you know.
Or it's Jesus with a Z. I haven't clarified if I'm honest.
No, I mean it's you know. It could be whatever ladies and gentlemen, if you're when you watch, just put it this way. It is whatever interpretation you want it to be.
It's spelled the same, right?
Exactly. Well, now about your opponent here, Mr. Clay, Lucas Cassius Clay. Now he's got some submissions in his own right. He's got some submissions in his own right. His last victory was by a Bravo choke, which is very difficult, sneaky submission. But you know you've got some submissions in your own right. You know, usually very adequate in game. Now I know well any MMA. If I ever boy, I'm not gonna have you.
You cut out a little bit.
Okay. It's that Hair by Jesus thing, man. How do you feel like your strengths stack up against his coming into this fight?
I'm very confident in my grappling. Like I've always said, if this fight ends up on the ground, I'm gonna be smiling the whole time because I feel like, especially with a guy as technical as him, it's gonna be a good match. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be cool to see where we go and what weird things I get to figure out and do. One thing about jiu-jitsu I love is that I'm able to create in the moment, and that's a lot of what I try to do out there. Is everything I'm doing, it's not planning it. It's just what happens. Like these arm bars, I'm not going for an arm bar. I have so much more than arm bars. Like I can't wait to show people what else I have. It's just what's there first. It's what happens. You know what I mean? As far as on the feet, I feel like nobody's really seen what I could do on the feet. Really, I've been in a couple like fire fights. Some stuff has crazies happened. People may think that I suck on the feet, but if he thinks that, I'm excited, dude, because I have a lot to show that I haven't yet, and hopefully it comes out July 8th.
Hey, man, I can't stress this enough, too. People that don't understand that this man can hang on the feet. John Long, hits, if John Long hits you, there's a 90% chance you're probably going to sleep quick.
Yeah, I think with my debut, I didn't get hit really by him on the feet, except as soon as we touched gloves, he kind of hit me right away, but I wasn't ready for it. You know what I mean? But after that, I just kind of took him down, and then he hit me a lot while I was on the floor. It like got reversed, and then I armbarred him. But that was a good fight. John Long really brought the fire out of me for that one for sure.
Yep, there's that one. I mean, and Tony Pike, he's another one that, Tony Pike can jab, but these fights went so, the Tony Pike fight went, 30 seconds, 35 seconds. So, I mean, but, your last opponent, Jacoby, another one that hit. So, you fought guys that can hit. These guys can throw that leather, for lack of a better term. So, I mean, you're not inadequate at tossing the gloves. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think people are in for a surprise if they think you're that one-trick pony. But you've proven it. You've proven you can get out there, mix it up. This is not somebody that's going to get out there and just, okay, I'm the one-trick guy that can only do one thing. They're in for a surprise. Believe me. Exactly.
I'm glad other people see it too.
Hey man, I got nothing but it for you, my dude. Nothing but love for you, my dude. And believe me, I got to tell you this much too. This man trains with a gym full of people that can throw bolos. They can throw bolos. Believe me, the beatings this man takes at practice on a daily basis. Trust me when I tell you. Trust me.
There's some heavy hitters in there. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
But I'm excited, man. It's going to be a great fight. It's cool because me and my girlfriend Kayla's making her debut on the same card.
Nice.
She's amateur debut, so she's going to be one of the preliminary fights. But it's her first fight ever.
Yeah.
She trains as hard as I do, so
will you be
all the time? That's all the time. So I'm excited for it.
Are you going to be cornering her? Are you going to be cornering her?
No. Glenn and Sadiq will be cornering her.
Nice.
I'll be I'll be close enough though. I'm gonna make sure I'll walk out with her and do all that. But if I wasn't fighting, I probably would corner her. But I'm not trying to,
Do you think you'd be more nervous for her fight or your fight before you?
I'm gonna be more nervous for hers for sure. At this moment, the LFA, the Arizona Federal Theater, it feels at home. I live in. It feels so good to be in there. Just that walkout. I've been there before. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
With her, I haven't been in that situation before, seeing her fight on a stage like that. So it's gonna be cool.
Well, you got to give us some details here, little brother. I mean, hey, you got your girlfriend fighting there. We know her name's Kayla. Tell us a little bit about her background, if you can. I mean, I know she's obviously she's been training a while, because you don't make your debut without having a little bit of cage time. So what's her strengths we can expect to see in that cage? What's her background in the combat sports realm, and give it a little bit of a.
So Kayla Reagan's her name. She goes by Swag. She's a beast, dude. She's a really, really good grappler. She's a purple belt under my professor Sadiq Daniels. Super tight. One of the strongest women I've ever met. She hits like a truck, and all she does is spar with men, and you know what I mean. People like Aaron, dude named Greg, Virginia, they're no slouches, and she's 115. You know what I mean? So she's a little girl, but she does what she needs to do, and she can hit, man. So I don't know how it's gonna end, but it's gonna be violent. She gets mean in
nice.
there.
So throw it to me, man. You guys got to have some kind of bragging rights. Winner picks up the tab at dinner that night, right? Whoever gets the fastest finish picks up the dinner tab for the other one. Winner picks the dinner place at the end of the night. What you guys got going on?
I mean, I'm probably gonna just play the pro card. I'm kidding.
Exactly. You're getting paid tonight, so you have more money after the night.
Right.
I'll tell you what, man. What we ought to do here is, after you both win, we got to bring you both on here for a dual interview and do you both. Wait, that didn't sound right. That didn't sound right. We got to get you on to a double interview. With you both on here. And talk about your successful double victories that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That'd be awesome. That'd be cool. That'd be real cool.
let's set it up. Carlos, remind me to tell Penny. Actually, I'll text Penny this right after we're done with it. And let's bring you both on here. We won't bog you down with another interview because I know I've probably annoyed the piss out of you enough with this interview as it is. But let's set it up.
You guys are good.
After the big victory, let's set it up and we'll bring you both on here and we'll talk. We'll do a double interview with you both and talk about your win and we'll have the boyfriend girlfriend dynamic on here.
Hell yeah, that'd be sick.
All right, let's do it. Now, the question is, does she get her hair by Jesus too, or no?
Nah, he only does men, but her hair is a different color. It's not regular, I guess. She goes she goes red right now. It's a little pink, but yeah.
All right. Well, hey, my brother, this has been an absolute blast. I look forward to it. I look forward to number one, seeing both of you get your hands raised in victory here on July 8th, and number two, I look forward to doing this again. Having another interview, multiple interviews with you and your girl, and getting to chat up with you on here some more.
Hell yeah, we'll rise together, my man. Let's do it.
And good luck, and I'm going to see you at the fights, and I'll be rooting for you guys.
And hey, do me a favor, tell Glenn that Jay says hi. He'll know exactly who you're talking about, man. That's one of my favorite people. But now you're up on that list too, my brother.
I appreciate you, my man. You guys take it easy. It was a pleasure being on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure was ours.
We'll see you guys.
Peace. See you, brother. Austin Wourms, ladies and gentlemen, what a good dude. Then again, the minute he told me he was one of Glenn's dudes, it's like Glenn only there's something about that camp, man. It's like they're killers, but outside of that cage, they are salt of the fucking earth, man. They are as good a people as I can't stress enough what a good dude Glenn is, and those people at that camp are the same way. I had a fun time in that interview.
Yeah,
fun time.
Sadiq a few years back for a little bit. He was really cool, and I know two of the teammates I mentioned earlier. I met him a few weeks back. I really liked them. So yeah, it seems like they got some real good people over there. And I keep hearing good words about the gym as well.
It's a fun joint, dude. It is a fun place. So I said, I wish I lived closer when I was in Phoenix because I'd actually gone and trained there myself, but he was way out. That's what I said. People that don't live in Phoenix, I got to stress this, man. Like you say, all right, it's in Phoenix. You guys don't understand, man. Phoenix is fucking massive. Like Mesa and Glendale are Surprise. You can drive an hour and a half in any direction and still be in the Phoenix metropolitan area.
Exactly. I believe Phoenix is the biggest city when it comes to overall landmass. You know how?
Oh yeah, like Apache Junction, that's considered Phoenix.
Exactly.
Buckeye is considered Phoenix. You drive 2 hours to get anywhere in Phoenix. It's insane, dude. That's why people used to bitch about the Coyotes, like, they're shitty attendance. Well, yeah, because motherfuckers like us that lived out in Mesa, that lived out in the east part of Mesa, we ain't driving 2 goddamn hours, an hour 45 minutes to get to a goddamn hockey game on Tuesday, and that's without traffic.
Exactly.
Shit, you driving rush hour traffic, it'll take you 3 hours to get there. By the time you get out of work, at 5 o'clock, it's going to be 9 by the time you get to the game, and the some bitch is half over. So people don't realize how big Phoenix actually is. It's stretched out, and that's why these gyms, that's why the MMA Lab has its spot, and Fight Ready had its spot for the longest time. Power MMA, that was like East Phoenix and Gilbert, which was its own tucked away thought, So that's why Phoenix has such a hotbed of MMA, because it's so gosh damn big. There's room for everybody.
Oh, yeah.